Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be talking about my pregnancy story, how I found out I was pregnant, and when I found out that I was pregnant with twins. So if you aren't already, please subscribe to this channel. I'm trying to build my channel up. It's been a minute since I have uploaded a video, but I'm trying to get back into the habit of posting more videos more frequently. So yeah, I'm trying to get my channel up, my subscribers up, so please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up at the end. So basically, getting right into it. So currently right now, I'm 27 weeks pregnant with twins. I'm having a boy and a girl. So going back to the beginning, basically around my birthday, my 30th birthday. It happened right after my 30th birthday, actually. I didn't know that at the time. So I turned 30 on January 25th this year. And it was probably a few weeks later, I started feeling symptoms and just basically nauseous after eating certain foods, fast foods. And so one day after work, when I was at work, I said, okay, I'm going to go home and take a pregnancy test. Something is off. I was really emotional as well. So this was maybe, I don't know, the 4th week in February, 3rd or 4th week. It was the week after Valentine's Day weekend, I remember. So, the guy I had been seeing at the time, we hadn't been talking for that long. It had just been a couple of months. And we had just made it official on Valentine's Day. I know, crazy, right? So yeah, we made it official being together as a couple on Valentine's Day. And then it was that week later when I had took the test and found out. So it was on a Thursday after work. I worked second shift and I came home and I ran home, already had a pregnancy test, peed on it. It was the clear blue, the one with the words, not the lines. It'll say pregnant or not pregnant. And so I go ahead and I take the test. And it's crazy because he was calling me. He was calling me that night at the time when I was taking the test. And I said, well, I'll just call him back. Let me take this test and see what the results say first before I, answer or call him back. And so the results came and it said pregnant. I'm like, oh my God. But I knew it. I knew it. I figured that it was going to be positive. And so he's calling me again. I answered that time and I'm just crying. I'm just bawling. And he's like, oh my goodness, what's wrong? And I'm like, I took a test and it says pregnant. So there was a few reasons why I was crying and why I was all over the place. First of all, I had got pregnant 5 years ago, so back in 2015, but I ended up miscarrying at 6 weeks. So I knew that I could now get pregnant, but I wasn't sure if I can actually carry full term. So I didn't know if that was going to happen again. There was always that possibility. The other thing is that I was talking to someone else around the same time as my now boyfriend, and I was kind of a little unsure. I'm just going to put it out there and keep it all the way 100. I was kind of unsure at first if it could be his or it could be this other guy's. So because I didn't know at that time a timeline, I didn't know how far along I was, any of that. So I'm explaining all of this to him on the phone. He knew that I had been talking to someone else and I had stopped talking to him Obviously, because we were together at that time. So I stopped talking to him some, weeks back prior. And I was just like, I had to come out and tell him, that we had seen each other one more time, before him and I had made it official. So he's all over the place now. His, thoughts and emotions. He doesn't know what to think. And he's like, basically skeptical himself. And it's like, okay, we might possibly need a DNA test. So I told him I wanted to go to the hospital in the morning just to be sure, so they can take an actual blood test, to make sure and, see if they can let me know how far along I was. So he was like, okay, that's fine. And, he was pretty much pissed off. And I was just letting him know, like, I really do hope it is yours. And I don't want to lose you. I don't want this to break us up. So then we go to the hospital the next morning, and they take take my blood, and then they come back and they say, okay, you're definitely pregnant. And I go, well, how far along am I? And the doctor says between 1 and 3 weeks. So I'm like, okay. That's a little off to me, but of course they have not came out with any technology yet to let you know the exact day that you have conceived. So that's what was confusing at first. It was still, we still were confused in the beginning at first, because it's like, well, that doesn't really tell me much. So, going back 3 weeks ago, that puts me in the timeline of, being with this other person. So then I'm like, I still felt that it was my boyfriend, so from the beginning, off rip, off jump. So then he recommends me to an OBGYN. He lets me know to set up appointment with them to get an ultrasound so they can give me a more accurate a timeline of how far along I am. So I'm like, okay. So at that time, he's still skeptical and, is not sure. So then, but we're still together. We're still together at this point. So then I wait until the day of my ultrasound appointment, go in to a clinic that is right up the street from me, and I go in, have my ultrasound. At that point, they're telling me that I'm 6 weeks. I believe they told me 6 weeks and like 3 days at that point. That's how they had pinpointed it. That still was a little confusing for me. And as she's, going across my stomach with the thing, she has this crazy look on her face. There's the doctor and there's 2 CNAs in there. And, excuse me, they both look at each other and they're like, oh my God. And then they turn to me and they go, oh, well, how do you feel about twins? Having twins? What? So I'm ready to pass out, fall off the damn table. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Like, are you kidding me right now? I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Twins. So they're seeing 2 separate sacks, and they're like, yeah, you're having twins. And I mean, I just couldn't believe it. I really couldn't. So I turned to my boyfriend. I'm like, you did this to me. So now we're trying to soak all that in. He's excited. I'm excited. We're trying to process this new information being told to us now. It's like, oh my goodness, not only are you pregnant, but you're having twins. So, you know, of course, at that point, we don't know the sexes yet or anything like that. We don't know if they're going to be identical or fraternal. And so, yeah, until I get further along, and then I end up taking the, I don't remember the name of the test, but it's where they take your blood and they can determine the sex of the two babies. And so, yeah. Didn't find that out until I wasn't able to take the test probably until about another 6 weeks from that point. So probably around the 12, 13 week mark, I want to say. And probably took another 2 weeks to get the results back. So I'm thinking around, 15, 16 weeks, somewhere around there, is when I found out the sex of the two babies. And that's when I found out I was having a boy and a girl. And I was so happy and overjoyed. I couldn't have been more excited because I'm having one of each, which is perfect. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm done, I got one of each. I got my boy, I got my girl. So I'm done now. No more babies for me. And it's funny because, I always say that if I did want to have kids, it would only be one child. And a lot of people were saying to me, well, no, they're going to need a sibling. And I'm like, no, no, they don't. So God definitely knew what he was doing. And he ended up blessing me with not one baby, but two babies, a double blessing. And I couldn't believe it. Twins do run in my family. But the last set of twins have been born years ago. They're probably in their 50s. So it literally skipped generations and came straight to me. So I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. Because my grandmother didn't have any twins, and she had 10 kids. My mom didn't have any twins, obviously. Even though I always wanted to be a twin. I always thought it would have been cool to be a twin. So to be having twins is like, just, I'm over the moon about it, really. And none of my aunties or uncles, none of my brothers have twins because they have kids. So yeah. But, that's the way the cookie crumbles. That was God's plan all along, and here we are. So, going into my third trimester, it has been definitely a roller coaster. This has not been a cakewalk. Being pregnant, especially with two babies, right now they are kicking my butt constantly. They are moving all the time right now. So, but I couldn't be more thankful and grateful that God, chose me and saw me fit to be these two little humans' mother. I didn't think that I was even going to have kids. I really didn't. And for it to happen at 30, I'm just like, oh my God. But I think this was a really good time for me to start a family. I'm glad I waited and that it didn't happen sooner. Obviously, with that last pregnancy, it wasn't meant to be that baby. And these were. And so I'm just thankful. And so, yeah. We are in the process right now of getting the nursery ready. I'm excited about that. So I have a video already that I'm working on showing the nursery. We're not all the way finished yet. So I have a video showing from start to finish with that. That will be uploaded soon as well. So again, please subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.